Ladies and gentlemen, this is breaking news. In this video, I'm going to tell you how more U.S. senators are supporting having the SBA send out the full $10,000 grants to each and every eligible applicant of the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program. First off, a little background, just bear with me. A couple of days ago, I was the first person on YouTube to tell you that 2 U.S. senators introduced a bipartisan bill that would force the Small Business Administration to disburse the full $10,000 advance to each eligible applicant of the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program. The bill is called the Ensuring Increased Disaster Loan for Small Business Act S.4227. I know it better than my own name at this point. The bill calls for $100 billion more dollars for economic injury disaster loans, $80 billion for more economic injury disaster loan advances. The bill will also block the Small Business Administration from capping economic injury disaster loans at $500,000 or $150,000 or $15,000 or whatever limit that they set. They will have to disperse loans of up to $2 million as per congressional intent, according to these senators. And the bill will mandate that the Small Business Administration disperse the full $10,000 advance to each eligible applicant of the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program within 3 business days. That said, the Small Business Administration will also have to send out monthly reports to Congress to tell them about the status of the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, disbursements, etc. And what makes this bill particularly promising is that one of the original sponsors is John Cornyn, Republican from Texas. You got to remember when Congress was sending all of these letters complaining to the SBA that it wasn't congressional intent for the SBA to disperse $1,000 per employee, it mainly came from Democrats. It solely came from Democrats. This is the first Republican senator to back any measure that will mandate, will order and force the Small Business Administration to send out the full $10,000 advance to each and every eligible applicant. Now, what happened today is that 2 more co-sponsors, 2 more U.S. senators are now co-sponsoring this bill. It's Edward J. Markey, from the Democrat from Massachusetts, and U.S. Senator Chris Van Hollen, Democrat from Maryland. That just means these guys are supporting it the most that they can. All right? Now, it is not required for bills to have so many sponsors. So, for instance, the CARES Act had 370 sponsors. Nonetheless, the bill that replenished the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Advance Program with $10 billion more dollars only had 2 co-sponsors. It only had 2 sponsors. It was Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. Of course, the 2 big dogs in the Senate. Nonetheless, 4 is showing more support. It is gathering up steam, ladies and gentlemen, makes it the passing of this bill more likely. So what do we have to do to ensure that this thing gets passed? Remember, the office of Chairman of the U.S. Senate Committee on Small Business and Entrepreneurship, Marco Rubio, his research assistant, Josh Duncan, sent me an email telling me that he could not check on the loan status of everyone that was inquiring, that he received hundreds of inquiries through phone calls and through the submission of the web form on the committee's website, coming from you, coming from viewers, from all of us. And we were basically voicing our concerns, voicing our experience, basically doing what the form is telling us to do, communicating our experience, requesting disaster relief from the Small Business Administration. What did he say? The email reads that while the committee could not check on everybody's loan status, that we should go ahead and check with our local congressional lawmaker who represents our district. They can help us with our legislative needs. The email reads the following. He actually backed into that sentence with the following words. While we are happy to help small business owners with their legislative needs, we are unable to help them with the status of their economic injury loan. Let me just repeat that. While we are happy to help small business owners with their legislative needs. So he will be happy to deal with our legislative needs. What are our legislative needs at this particular point in time? That the Small Business Administration disperse the full $10,000 grants to each and every eligible applicants of the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program. We need more money for the funds. By having this committee support the Ensuring Increased Disaster Loan for Small Businesses Act S.4227, and that the bill ensures, the statutory language ensures that the payment of these grants are also retroactive. So even people that received, let's say $1,000 per employee, they would still get the remaining $10,000 that the Small Business Administration owed to them as per congressional intent, according to these lawmakers, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what are the arguments they're going to make? Of course, you're going to tell them that you need this lifeline in order to keep your business operational. John Cornyn from Texas, I'm pretty sure they were among the first states to reopen the economy. So they need small business to reopen. The entire country needs to reopen. You as a business, you need to operate in one shape or the other. So you need this armament. What are we going to tell them? First, give them their story. Go ahead and voice all your issues that you've been encountering dealing with the Small Business Administration. And give them the data that substantiates that by you receiving the full $10,000 grant, that you will be instrumental in saving this economy. You don't have to say much, but you can go ahead and use the stats the SBA is producing. What is the SBA? What did they say about the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Advance Program? They gave out advances to 6 million businesses employing 30.5 million people. What has been happening? Unemployment rate has been dropping substantially. It went from 14.7 in April to 13.3 in May, and then 11.1 in June. The hikes in retail sales in May jumped up by 18.2%, in June by 7.5%. Even existing home sales are up by 20.7%. What does that matter? Because this is not coming from me or you, but the top economic officials in this country, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, have both said that all of these economic gains are due to the financial assistance coming from the CARES Act. That means they have to keep doing what is working. Understand what I'm saying? And also let them know that you know. You have to recognize this. You make an elite group in this country as small business owners. 31.7 million U.S. small businesses, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just repeat that. 31.7 million small businesses. 99.9% of all U.S. businesses. We employ 60.6 million employees. Practically half of the U.S. workforce. 47.1% of the U.S. workforce to be exact. And you're going to let us go down? No, ladies and gentlemen. They have to give you the armament. They have to give you the ammunition in order to save this economy, because without you, it is dead. So you're going to go ahead and visit sbc.senate.gov, and there is a link on that particular page, and it's labeled Feedback on Your Disaster Recovery. Once you click on that link, it will load up a form which reads Feedback on Your Disaster Recovery. Tell us about your experience with the SBA Disaster Assistance Program. And you give them all those numbers, ladies and gentlemen. Numbers do not lie. And let them know that once they do this, once they show support and ensure that they pass S.4227 and they make it retroactive to people that only received a small proportion of the grant, $1,000, $2,000, anything short of $10,000, that they would get the rest of the grant to ensure that they receive the entire $10,000, that you will do everything that you can to keep them in office, vote for them. You'll be more than happy to provide a personal testimonial on how this grant coming through this act actually saved your business, and ensure that we secure our inalienable rights of life, liberty, in the pursuit of happiness, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you think. Drop your comments in the comment section below. Watch this video right here for more stimulus and economic injury disaster loan coverage. Click the like button if you like the video. Click the subscribe button to stay on top of my findings. I will do my best to report what other people will not. May God bless you. May God bless the United States of America and everybody else on this planet. Talk soon.